Hi, this is Peter Stanley. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make an easy to build and inexpensive herb wick pot. Start out with the wick material. It can really be anything that wicks well, but I like to use microfiber cloth because it absorbs water very easily. And I need a longer piece. I'm going to cut this square one diagonally. You can get these at Walmart or somewhere like that for the automotive section. I think you can get like a pack of 10 for $5. You make several wicks. So I'm going to use a 3-gallon nursery pot. It has a hole in the center already, which is where I'm going to pass my wick. So first thing I do is just make kind of a loose knot. This is really just to kind of seat it so it doesn't fall through. Once the potting mix is inserted, it won't really be an issue, but for filling it, it kind of holds it in place. And I need to leave enough to reach up into the potting mix. So I've got this outside. I'm using an old container that was from another project. That's why it has the already has holes, but it's a 3-inch hole in the center where the wick goes through. And I'm measuring it. I can see that it's not long enough. So what I'm going to do is tie another wick to it. I just cut another piece from that same cloth and just making a simple knot here. And in this case, I'm just kind of figuring it out as I go along as far as what I need. So I'm going to insert this and do another little test. Just by holding it up against the side. Still not quite long enough. So I just basically need to have that hanging down a little lower. So I'm going to make another little placeholder knot. And actually a second one, just a little more support. And the container, by the way, is just an icing container I got for free. I just went to a bakery and asked if they had any containers they were throwing out, and that's where that came from. So it didn't cost me anything. The nursery pot was actually free too. But yeah, see, so that's plenty long. So the next thing I need to do is kind of pre-fill my container. So I'm just using last year's potting mix that I'm recycling for this year. So this is basically my container mix I used last year. You can use fresh container mix, but I'm just using this because I already have it. So this is my pineapple sage from my small wick pots. I built a video recently up showing how I made those. Also have white sage, and this is the pineapple sage, the original pineapple sage that I've been taking cuttings from. I got that at the store. This is the one I've propagated. And I'll put a link to the original video at the top and also in the description so you can see how I built this. Basically a smaller version of what I'm doing now, just upgrading it to a bigger container. And this design makes it very easy to remove. I was going to leave the original wick in there and loosen the roots a little bit and just sort of make some room for it. And this dry crusty one is the mother plant that originally used. You can tell the difference between these two. The one in there now is propagated from this one, but it's been getting hydroponic nutrients in the wick system. And the other one's just been getting fed periodically and watered in a little pea pot. So you can see a huge difference in growth and health. But these are actually from the same plant. This is my white sage that I've had in the air garden. Actually isn't looking that healthy in the air garden, so I'm hoping that it will do better out here. Some of the leaves don't look the best, but now you need to water it in. You only really need to you only need to water these in once when you first set them up. So water it really well until it runs out of the bottom, kind of drains, and just being real thorough, going all around the sides. And see that it's running out the bottom. You can just kind of see how this works too, where the wick is going to be. And let it drain for a little bit and just empty out the excess before you fill it with nutrients. Wouldn't hurt to just rinse it out again too. Okay, now I'm going to fill the nutrients. This is Dyna-Gro 795 at a rate of 1 teaspoon per gallon. Probably get by with a little less strength, maybe half to 3/4 of a teaspoon. And you can see from the previous project I had a small tube on the bottom right is leaking. So I had to add an extension, just a 1/2-inch connector and some pond tubing to fix that. So you don't, that isn't part of this project, it's just a remnant from another project, so don't let that distract you from what I'm doing. So I'm just topping that off so it's near the top. And putting a little neoprene collar. That hole is a 2-inch by 7/8 inch. 2 7/8 inch diameter and a 2-inch neoprene collar. So here is how it looks all set up. And 3 weeks later, it's grown quite a bit. It's taking a little bit of a beating from adjusting to the sun, and nutrients might be a little too strong. The white sage looks a whole lot better. Very healthy looking. Some new growth at the bottom too. And I've actually cut off of this a few times too, so it's growing a little more than what I'm showing you here. And I actually set up another one while I was, after that. This is just a 2-gallon bucket with a 3-gallon nursery pot sitting in it with a gap between the bottom of the bucket and the nutrients. It has a wick in the bottom. So I've got some sweet mint and some Greek oregano. Most of that was from cuttings. And I've got some chives also. Hope you like that. And thank you very much for watching. And please like, comment, and subscribe.